Oh shit. What?
I have a question from the YouTube.
A question from the YouTube, all right?
Yes.
What does the YouTube want to know?
Why don't we make preparatory steps in our lineage?
Wow. You answer that. Why don't we make preparatory steps in our lineage? Peer-rated junior instructor person.
Peer-rated junior instructor person here, Kat Larange with Winged Saber Historical Fencing. So one of the hallmarks of our lineage is that we set up a lot closer in our range than sighted systems do. So if Russ and I are going to fence each other, I'm ready to fence Russ, Russ is ready to fence me, I make a preparatory step towards Russ without threatening him in any way. Ha ha! Darn it.
But what if I'm going to go somewhere else and do something else?
Well, what if you are? Okay, so I'm still going to make a preparatory step towards Russ without threatening him in any way. I'll step like this. Ha ha. The very act of my taking one step closer to him without threatening him and making him deal with my attack is now I'm vulnerable to him doing all sorts of actually really basic stuff that's in the system. So if I'm sighted, I'll get lucky for this. I'm out here, and we saw this a lot in our recent lightsaber fencing. I might advance towards him to see what he does. He hasn't done anything, so now I've got to commit. Oh! A suicidal thing.
Which I'm pretty sure you stabbed me in the face on that, yeah.
Yeah, I think so. But the very fact of the geometry of our guard makes it so that unless I'm way across the room from him, the preparatory step is just a wasted tempo. Did I miss anything?
So many things.
So many things.
Okay, so we don't do preparatory steps because the whole concept of the preparation for the attack is, the question's malformed.
Okay.
This isn't modern Olympic fencing where I'm starting off at the 4-meter mark and I have to see exactly who's on point before I take my advanced lunge or advanced flunge or advanced flesh to hit. Not relevant. Now, I will say that what Kat's saying is correct. I yell at my students all the time for sauntering into fight distance. We should not saunter into fight distance. But when I go to close, this is uncomfortably close for me to start fencing. I wonder if I'm actually in frame. Probably I'm in frame. Scooch that way. There, I'm probably in frame. This is no closer than this. And I'm gonna start making actions. Now, if I think she's gonna run away while I'm mooling to make a cut, great. This isn't modern fencing. She has not actually done anything to get rid of my initiative. I can still feel free to continue doing a thing. And she has now offered a parry and now gone, oh shit, because she knows I'm gonna hit forearm. I know she's gonna hit my wrist when I go for the forearm. So I'm gonna offer the forearm. She's gonna turn, oh, she did that way instead. Yay, now I get to do silly stuff like blur. Someone on YouTube's gonna call that out for big bullshit.
Well,
It's clearly not blurred, it's blurred. So, we don't just waltz into range. If Kat and I set up to fence, I'm not just gonna go, hody, hody, hody. Okay, now I'm in range, I'm gonna come into guard. We see this with beginners all the time, and they get stabinated. Because if Kat does that, thrust in opposition.
cool.
Why am I eating so many thrusts in opposition to the face? Because as she raises her saber to be like, I'm in guard now, I'm like, yay.
Blurg.
Blurg, no, blarg.
Flurg.
That's different.
Okay.
So the question's malformed because this is a covered cut system. Actual German covered cut fencers, don't jump on me. I'm using this as a very broad brush, not an invitation system. If I set up here in old school Keresztesi Hungarian high second, I know where Cat's attacking. And I definitely know where Cat's not attacking, because even if I didn't have handy wall over here, there's nothing over there to attack that doesn't involve her getting free dental work. She either has to decide to go for a blade beat, at which point, yay, a bind and playing around, or she's coming screaming down my inside line. So in that case, if we both know she's coming screaming down the inside line, and I'm just a little bit too far out of distance, she could take a little micro advance to prep for that and watch to see what I'm doing. But there's no priority. Priority hasn't been invented for this system. So step in preparation for the attack as a concept is meaningless. Now, what about a moulinet? If I go, ha-ha, and she takes advantage of that and hits it while I'm performing my moulinet, is that an attack in preparation? Yes, technically. That's why modern fencing uses very few moulinets, except in opposition. Transports mostly. But we call that a stop hit. Or to steal from Lissac, a pre-cut or a post-cut. Lissac and Arlo both. So the attack in preparation concept and the step in preparation concept don't make as much sense for a passing step system where we're going to be moving around, and when I need to enter that range to get her to do something, I need to be covering myself. It's very different than, set up again.
This way?
Yeah, we're going to be Italian, so set up an advanced lunge range. Scooch back more. There you go. So now I need to lunge just to be able to hit her hand. Stay still. Here's the distance involved, right? Now, I haven't had any coffee. That was a terrible fucking lunge, but we'll work with that. So if I'm not confident in that, or I want to do a beat, or maybe I need a balestra lunge. Okay, boom, there's my very, very tiny balestra for purposes of camera. There's the lunge, and she didn't bite on my face, so thunk.
Look.
Was the balestra part of the balestra lunge a preparatory step?
Oh, seems like we're getting into semantics at this point.
Yeah, when did I extend?
Audience, when did he extend?
Oh, that's why the modern game's such a mess. And they're basically judging priority by vibes. Oh, was moving forward, clearly has priority for this attack. They don't even bother calling it right of way anymore, right? And notice, I'm not dissing right of way and I'm not dissing priority. If you want to learn really good fencing and really good logic of fencing, playing right of way will make you a better fencer. Playing right of way and covering yourself against the afterblow, that's the highest possible bar. Now, it doesn't mean you can't hit somebody in preparation, make your stop hits, make your counterattacks. But if Cat goes to attack me, and I do this and she thonks me, I made a really fucking terrible tactical choice. Now, she doesn't have the right to say, I have to parry. She can't blithely come in. More on telepathy, right? But if I see an attack beginning and I go for this, that was a really dumb move. So it's not like the modern Olympic league, because that's what Olympic fencing is. It's a specific league with specific rules and its own meta. That evolved out of the same environment that a lot of the HEMA Saber authors are playing from. The difference is you open up distance and make the attack fall short. Now you have priority. In the 19th century, turn of the 20th century, that was not the case. Running away does not give you the initiative. So you have to think about the context of the questions before it makes any sense. Does that make sense?
Yes.
Okay, now go hang your head in a corner for bringing me such a horrifying question before I've had coffee. That was mean, Cat. Sheesh. Oh, this was Ring Saber Historical Fencing. Have fun and don't do that thing. Do something cooler. We've got more videos and content coming, so if you liked what you saw and it was useful for you, please stab the like button, /subscribe, and punch the little bell icon so that you're notified immediately when new content comes available. Thanks, and go do the thing.